How many have you forgiven today? Chapter 6, Part 2. Anon looks out of the corner of his eye to see Celestia walking beside him. He can hear her thoughts, how she worries about him, how she wants to send him to the moon. Well, that last thing is just his paranoia starting to act up, but still. Why did he have to ask her those things? Now he can't stop thinking about his own mortality. He knows it's gonna happen one day. Happens to everyone. Eventually, he'll die, and there's nothing that he can do about that. And that does little to comfort him, as his thoughts become consumed by the subject. He can't stop thinking about it. He's afraid. The unknown's about death. The not knowing is what scares him most. Anyone who says that they're not afraid of death is either delusional or ignorant. Yet what he finds odd is a different line of thought that disturbs him. What about Celestia and Luna? If he dies, they'll be alone again. His heart aches at the thought. Death is still scary, but leaving those two alone seems worse. How will it affect them? How will they cope? He can only hope that they'll forget about him, but he knows them well enough to say that that isn't gonna happen. Will Luna become a recluse again? Will Celestia push everyone away? Anon bites the inside of his cheek, drawing a bit of blood. He needs to stop this. Celestia is probably noticing the constant fluctuation in his emotions. He suppresses his emotions again, going blank. He hopes that this will be enough to keep Celestia from worrying. This topic is a waste of thought. It'll happen at some point in time, and he can only hope that those two are strong enough to handle it. He chuckles a bit on the inside. Of course they're strong enough. He isn't that important to them. They probably lost more things in their life that were more important than him. Yet there's that small voice that knows his passing will hurt them deeply.
Anon.
Anon looks over at Celestia.
Are you feeling alright?
Anon shrugs. About as I always feel. What's the matter? Celestia can still feel that pit in her stomach.
I just get the feeling that something's wrong,
she says, with a voice filled with concern. Anon waves it off, trying to play the part. Nothing's wrong, just thinking about stuff. No worries. Celestia just keeps an eye on him as he goes back to facing the road. She can see that he's chewing on the inside of his cheek. He does that a lot when he's having thought. But she won't pry on his thoughts. He knows that eventually he'll let her know what's on his mind. She just has to be patient. Luna's sitting and waiting for Anon and her sister to return to have their meal for the evening. She checks her mane over in a small mirror that she summoned with her magic, so she can make sure that everything is in perfect order. She gives a small wink to her own reflection. Blossom was right. She is as beautiful as her night sky. She giggles a little to herself as she magics her mirror away. Just in time too, as Anon and Celestia walk into the dining room together. When Luna looks over her shoulder, she instantly takes notice of Anon. For some reason, she feels as if something isn't right. His outward appearance is as blank as the day that she met him. Her eyes drift over to her sister, that look of questioning worry on her face. It seems that something happened. Anon finds his gaze drift over to Luna, his mind going quiet as his eyes lay on her. It seems that she styled her mane. He's thankful that his thoughts are settled, so maybe he can act a bit more normal. He doesn't hesitate as he walks over and takes a seat next to Luna. I like your mane, Luna. What's the occasion? Celestia also noticed her sister's mane. It's rare for Luna to ever show her natural mane, let alone style it. Her worry over Anon was now replaced with her sister's current appearance. She also walks to the table and sits beside Anon. She can hear her sister answer Anon's question.
Having your company is an occasion enough?
A flattering thought, but isn't it weird for you to be in public like that? Anon asks.
Oh, we aren't in public. I'm sure it's fine.
Anon shrugs. Yeah, I guess you're right. So, how have you been?
Oh, busy. I've been told that you've met my captain?
Yeah, she stopped by earlier today. She seems nice.
I would hope so. She's been my captain since before my imprisonment.
Anon feels his mind blank. Wait, she's over 1,000 years old? Luna nods.
Thestrals have a long lifespan. Perhaps not ageless like my sister and I, but they do live for a long time.
Weird. Luna noticed that his mood shifted as soon as she started to talk about Thestrals. She has the feeling that something is weighing heavy on Anon's mind, but she thinks that perhaps speaking in their dreams would be the best course of action. She knows that Anon tends to be far more open in her realm than the waking world. Not only that, but she wants to enjoy this moment. Luna turns her attention to her sister.
Sister, you've been quiet. Is something on your mind?
Celestia snaps back to reality. She was mostly thinking about Anon and even her sister, how the two of them speak so freely with one another.
Oh, not much, Luna. I'm just surprised to see your natural mane. I must say that you look good.
Luna smiles.
Oh, thank you, Tia. Perhaps we can dress our manes together next time?
Celestia shakes her head.
Oh, you know I was never good at styling my mane.
Luna rolls her eyes.
One must learn to style their mane, sister. It's been far too long. And I think that perhaps it's time that you learn.
Celestia ignores her.
How about we call the waiter? I've already ordered for the 3 of us. They should be here momentarily.
Just as Luna finished saying that, a few waiters come in with trays and a few carts. They get to work quickly and set everything in front of everyone. Anon starts to smile at the smell of meat. Not just any meat, but his favorite, ham. Luna's smile reflects Anon's. She uses her magic to reveal everyone's meals. Roast salad for her sister, a lily sandwich for herself, and a thick cut of ham for Anon. Well done, Luna. Anon compliments.
That's not all.
Luna magics their drinks into existence. Anon feels his brow raised as a clear liquid is set in front of him. Anon picks it up and takes a whiff. He quickly jerks back from the smell, and he looks at Luna in disbelief. Is this moonshine?
I will admit that I did a bit of research and found out how to make this drink from your world.
Research?
The memories that we shared. It wasn't very hard to find, and I must admit that I fell in love with the name. What is moonshine?
Celestia asks. This is considered the strongest alcohol a person can drink. Anon takes another whiff. There's something different. Luna could see Anon's questioning gaze.
It's not as toxic as what you know, but it's still strong enough to make you regret drinking it.
Anon chuckles at that. Well, I guess I can give it a try, seeing as you worked on making it.
Are you sure that this is wise?
Celestia asks.
Worry not, sister. Anon will not partake alone.
Luna summons 2 more drinks for her and her sister.
I've added a bit of salt to our drinks.
Celestia blushes some.
Sister, you know what salt does to me. Oh, live a little, Tia. It's a celebration between friends. Well, perhaps a little bit couldn't hurt. Oh, very well.
Celestia relents. Anon already feels his mood improving. He raises his glass into the air. Cheers. The sisters do the same with their glasses.
Let us enjoy this night,
Luna says. They strike their glasses together and they take their first drink of the night. Anon can already feel his headache as he regains consciousness. His vision is blurry, and even the smallest amount of light makes him want to clamp them shut. He can't even remember what happened yesterday. It's all so fuzzy. He doesn't think anything bad happened or that his drinking was due to something related to his past, but still, he drank enough to get a hangover and lose his memories. It's murky, but he does remember dinner with the sisters. Then Luna gave him something. He winces in pain, thinking it is too much for him right now. What he finds odd is that his bed doesn't feel as comfortable as he last remembered it. Not only that, but there is this strong minty scent in the air. Usually in situations like this, he smells the morning dew and nightshade, which corresponds to each sister. Minty though? He only knows of one pony that smells like that. He feels something cuddle up next to him, an odd squee noise leaving whatever is spooning him. Anon opens his eyes slightly and notices seafoam green fur. Yep, that's definitely Lyrae. He closes his eyes again and runs a hand over his body. Still clothed, so that's a good sign. But he's too tired to care, so he decides to just let things play out. Anon knows that it'll make sense when he doesn't feel like his head is about to split open. Celestia has a small smile on her lips as she wakes up to another morning in bed with Anon. It's been too long since they've shared a bed with each other. She pulls him close and nuzzles into his neck. Odd, when did Anon get so much fur? And also, when did he start smelling like Luna?
Oh, you're rather affectionate this morning, Anon.
Luna mumbled. Celestia opens her eyes and sees blue fur. A sigh leaves her.
It is I, sister.
Celestia says. Luna's woken from her half-sleep as she rolls over and comes face to face with her sister.
Where's Anon?
She asks.
I am unsure, Luna.
Luna's still tired and lays back down.
I'm sure my captain is with him. Is that so?
Celestia uses her magic and indeed does sense Anon in Luna's captain.
It seems that they're at Anon's shop. Anon probably wanted to get to work early.
Luna mumbled. Celestia agrees. It makes sense that at some point last night Anon probably went off to his place of work. Still, Celestia has the feeling that she's missing something.
Do you remember last night, sister?
Luna shakes her head.
No.
Seems they had a bit too much salt last night. Celestia can only hope that her indulgence hasn't led to anything that she'll regret. She remembers what happened a few millennia ago when she used too much salt. A cold shiver runs down her spine at that thought.
Do you feel an unease in the air?
Luna opens one of her eyes so she can look at her sister.
Yes, but I'm too tired to care.
Celestia lets out a sigh.
I'll head over to my core for the morning. Gather your strength, Luna.
Luna closes her eyes with a smile as she snuggles into her blankets. Celestia gets out of bed and readies herself for whatever is waiting for her. She doesn't know why, but something is gnawing at the back of her mind. Oh man, nothing like some good old foreshadowing to make you wonder what's gonna happen next. Now let's hop on over to our invigorating donators. Top donators are 630, J Tinderman, Darkside, Only One Thing, Dash of Evergreen, and Ceru Orion. Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Austin Rollins, Crazy Color 557, Stu Hex, Sword Brother and Mordred, Omicron, Lyrae, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Hadzaza, Riot Soul, Iron Sky, Badass Waffle, and many more bright people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.